Hi, hey, thanks for joining me. It's nice to spend time with you so we can sit back, relax, and go through this astrological reading for September, which is nearly upon us, isn't it? Before we get into your actual reading, if we look at what the month of September is bringing planetary-wise, we can see that the equinox is on the 21st of September, which can create great potency and energy and turbulence. There's also 6 planets going retrograde, including Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. So it's a fairly full-on month, and this is going to lead to a lot of activity in October. October is a month of cosmic shifts and changes, so we will feel quite a shift of energy on the planet in October. I'm not sure where that's going to take us, but it is going to happen. So let's see what you received in terms of the notes that came for you for September, the psychic messages for Sagittarius. The first word that came up was expansion, and I questioned, what does that mean? Is it to where and what? But then I wrote, it's not surprising, as I often find Sagittarians are constantly on a journey of expansion. It may be your mind or your career or your relationships opening up. For some, travel may be relevant, and it's possible that this part of the year may be magical for you. So when you get a message about expansion, I always think that's a very exciting time, because sometimes we are not in expansion. We are in this kind of like time of going within, of just being quiet, of listening, of receiving and processing. But expansion is much more about energy, outward movement, growth, pushing the boundaries. So that was the message that arrived for you. Let's see what these cards are going to say. Let's start shuffling for Sagittarius for September for 2021. Aren't we moving through this year really, really quickly? We're back down in lockdown here in New Zealand, actually. Oh wow. The Hermit. So the Hermit is the opposite of expansion in many ways, and that was your first card out. He goes within to retreat, to acquire the ideas, concepts, time for expansion. So given he was your first card, and it's the very opposite of the message that I was saying, perhaps the expansion is in the mode of coming to you. Perhaps you are working on how to create this expansion, because technically that is what the Hermit does. The Page of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. Interestingly, the 8 of Cups has come out quite a lot this month. It feels as though a lot of people are walking away from things and heading into new directions. The Emperor. He has also been out quite a lot as well. Death, the Knight of Cups, and underneath the 8 of Cups, the 5 of Cups. Okay, you guys. So we started off with the Hermit, which really does seem to talk about feeling very much about yourself for the month and what your needs are and how they can be met. And sometimes I feel with the Hermit, it's about feeling a little bit vulnerable or closing down because you don't want everyone to know everything. You're going into a place of privacy. You're going into personal introspection is what he does mean. But when I see the Hermit, I get this feeling, especially for you in this reading, that you are, you're closing down from something. So it is feeling as though it's the opposite of this expansion. I'm not sure then why the expansion. Maybe it's because I said to where and what. Like maybe you don't know what you're wanting or why this Hermit feeling is coming. It could be that it's dealing with relationships, because we have a lot of cups in here. And these are the emotional cards that often deal with relationship perspectives. So if we talk about it, you've got 3 major arcanas, the Hermit, the Death and the Emperor, 3 cups and 1 pentacle. This Page of Pentacles, it can be representative of a Capricorn type energy or a Taurian or Virgo as well. It may be that this type of earth energy is around you in terms of relationships
and this might be part of the Hermit feeling. But other than that, he often represents new awakening, new awareness, because he's a page, he's a youthful card, he's the beginnings of something, starting something new. He often, because he's associated with Pentacles, is associated with your career opportunities or finances or what you do with money or how you spend it. He can represent new beginnings in terms of a career change, a job offer, an interview, ideas within your jobs, a promotion. So there is this possibility, given that he is right next to that Hermit and he was the second card out, there is also still this buoyant energy with this bright yellow background and his pentacle almost pushing into the Hermit. Perhaps some of you are at the point of saying, what do I want within a career sector, or what do I want to do with how I invest my finances, or what is my money doing? And maybe this is making you rethink strategies or rethinking how you feel about a pathway you've been taking, and that you want some time out to contemplate it or to review it, and it might be associated with this aspect of life. We come to this Eight of Cups. This often means you are literally walking away from something, but often someone, and it can be because a relationship hasn't been particularly balanced. Now, I always see this moon up here and I think of the eclipse times, which was May and June, but we're coming into the eclipses again for November and December. So this could be an ecliptical message to say there is a power or an energy force that was working either back in May and June that's creating an activation now, that's helping you to think, gosh, I want to move away from something, I'm leaving something behind. But it could also be the ones coming up that are creating a perturbance, making you begin to feel the need to change things out, to move away from something. And that's also where this card is coming in, and this one as well. So you've got a lot in here that's talking about, I'm contemplating change, whether it's at a metaphysical level or a physical. It definitely feels very emotional, so it's pinging you at the emotional level, and it's taking you to the concepts of a whole new era, a new time, a new timeline, a new way of being. With the Emperor, and he sort of sits half out of the reading because there's 6 cards here and there's 1 here. He is a timekeeper. He often refers to March and April, and I don't know if he's referring to March and April of this year, but possibly of next March and April. So all of this could be building to next year, or it could have started in March and April of this year as well. It could also represent an Aries energy, which is often what it does represent, and sometimes an older person, often a male, and sometimes in the capacity of a mentor or a new love interest, or a new person that comes into your life who plays quite a significant role. So there's those consequences with this card as well. He often talks about things being done methodically and correctly when he's around. So he's also a dictator of moral ethics or political or governmental rules and indoctrinations as well. And so he's kind of holding this slightly out of the position reading, as if he is taking charge or being an X factor at the side, creating an energy field. So some of you may feel bound or dictated to at this time, or you may be having to follow the confines of certain restrictions that could be legal restrictions, whether it's within businesses or whether it's within personal relationships, or whether it's even within your own mindset or your understanding or concept of what you want or how you think you can get it. But we come down here to the big card, the Death card, which we've talked about a little bit. He's really rebirth, so it suggests that there's this whole new opportunity of change coming if you view it from your innermost desires and your innermost passion and power. It's coming from deep within you. It's not external. This is more like holding you up externally, but at the same time he might be
making you feel like you want the change. Perhaps you're sick of structure, or perhaps he feeds you information that awakens you to thinking about the prospect of change. As a mentor, he could do this. This one down here can be, he's similar to the page. He's young, he's enthusiastic, he's new, he's exciting, so he can come in and be a new energy again. So we've got new energies already here, perhaps kicking off this degree of change, of walking away. He can be a person, he can be a water sign person, he can be a love interest, he can make the heart come alive again. It's as if he can fire up the passion within you, especially if you're feeling like this, like sad about something, about some relationships in your life that you feel may have let you down, or that have not benefited you, or they've been out of balance, or you've paid a lot of time and energy into a certain aspect of your life and it's just gone flat. It's like blah, it's just not working anymore. There's no give and take, there's no enjoyment. It's like you've come to the end of the road, but you've got this positive one coming in at the same time. Now this could also represent water sign people around you that you've been involved with, some of them who you may move on from, but some who may come in as new contenders for your emotional section in life, or it may be that they're trying to help reconnect and balance and talk it through. So there may be a degree of trying to heal relationships in this reading as well, but I get the feeling that you're ready to move on. Perhaps they're trying to heal something and you're sort of saying, actually, not really, I think it's over. But anyhow, the decision is always yours. Let's look at the final card that we will be pulling, and we will use this deck here, the Keepers of the Light. This is for Sagittarius for August. What is in store for them? What message would you like to give? Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. Move beyond current challenges. Focus on what you desire. And I think we've said that really strongly within your reading. There's that beautiful amethyst energy coming in. So I will stick that glorious amethyst on top to also empower that up. And at the same time, you have got Lord Shiva, transcendence. And in many ways, the Hermit kind of offers this ability for transcendence as well. Rise up, honor your inner force, steps are being given, and dance with the universe. So there's a feeling of freedom coming, and that could be where we get that expansion from. Alchemy, remember, is almost like the magician, because the magician is an alchemist. So if alchemy is coming, there's this opportunity to create new awareness and awakening and beginnings, and that is expansion as well. And then we get this transcendence, and we have the moon up here too. So it's as if you're being awoken to a new sphere or a new ability to empower yourself, to feel the awakenings of the universe behind you, and to find inner strength and move into a new phase. So really quite a nice reading for you, Sagittarius, especially these last cards that have come in. So you can utilize them at any time in the month for protection or activation, for awakening, for meditation with, for anything that you would like to call upon. So thank you again for joining with me and spending time together. It's been really nice. And please sub the channel, leave your comments. It's lovely to read them. And I wish you the very, very best for September. Much love. Namaste.